Hey everyone, welcome to the 10th installment of Topics on My Mind, and hopefully this one will work. I've tried previous times already. Right over here where I've tried, got interrupted by a mother and a daughter showing up, and then over here by the fact that two people parked on the sidewalk there and looked at me like, what am I doing here? But anyway, the topic I want to talk about today is policies. And first of all, and before I do that, I want to thank you all for watching the Topics on My Mind series. Now, I know some of the topics may not have been very popular, and some people may not want to talk about them, but I thank you anyway for watching. But the one I want to talk about today is policies. Why do I say that? It was because very recently we've had a policy at one of the most popular video game store franchises in the world, if not the country, change. And what is that video game franchise? What is that video game store? I'll tell you what it is. Blockbuster. That's right, Blockbuster Video changed the policy. And I apologize for that dog in the background. But yes, Blockbuster Video has changed the policy. Now, we might all remember when Blockbuster Video first began, they basically had the policy of 3-day rentals when it came to movies and games. But then slowly over time, they switched to 5-day rentals. And then slowly over time, they went to 5.5 days with a little leniency of allowing you to keep it 7 more days after its due date and then start charging you. So basically a 12-day rental. But now, Blockbuster has gone back to its 5-day policy with a little added addition. And that addition and stipulation, if you will, is the fact that if you don't return it after the 5th day, you will be charged 99 cents, basically $1, for each day. And that after the 10th day, if you don't return it, Blockbuster will automatically put in auto sale, thus telling you that you have bought that movie or you've bought that game. Now, if you return the movie, you might get credit. I did. If you return the game, you might get credit. I haven't done that yet, but I think that's possible. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why is this policy in effect? What's going on? Why have they changed the policy? Why have they done this? Well, it's real simple. According to some of the employees I talked to at a Blockbuster, they said it's because a lot of people have taken advantage of the leniency, if you will, of the 5.5 day, basically 12-day rental deal before the fees, have taken advantage of it and have kept the games or the movies for as long as they want, knowing that they'd be charged for them, but they wouldn't have to buy them. Well, Blockbuster has changed that policy now to the point that if you don't return them, like I said, after 5 days, and even after 10 days, you automatically buy the movie or the game. Now, I know you're probably asking yourselves, for those that do the Blockbuster movies online, does that affect me? No, because that's online and it comes from a warehouse. But if it does affect it, it'd be a first. Because I know Netflix doesn't charge you for keeping them even after your membership expires, because after your membership expires, you still keep them until you renew. They don't charge you. They don't say, oh, you've bought the movie. Gamefly, however, is different. Gamefly is just like Netflix. You can rent the games, 2 games at a time, basically, maybe 3. Keep them as long as you want, but if you don't return the games, but if your membership expires and you don't renew it, you have to return the games, because if you don't, then you end up buying the games. How do I know? Because I kept Mortal Kombat vs. DC for Xbox 360. I kept Disney Sports Basketball for the Wii and GameCube. And what happened? That's right. You guessed it. If you're thinking it, you guessed it. I ended up buying them. How did I know? Because even though I didn't know it, I ended up checking my bank account online, and I saw I was charged for the games, which surprised me. But there's a reason for it. You see, movies and games Now movies, some people may say, well, movies are not a big deal because nowadays, when they're released on DVD, they come out on-demand pay-per-view the same day. It's no big deal. We can record it. Yeah, it's no big deal. But the video games are a big deal. Video games are a big deal because if people keep the games for longer than they should, the fear is that people will start burning and ripping them. Even on with the software that they have. That way they can have a copy and not have to spend a dime in getting it. But it doesn't mean if you burn and rip them that they're going to work. It doesn't mean that. But getting back to what I'm saying, the reason for these new policy changes that Blockbuster has, and I'm pretty sure Blockbuster isn't the only video store franchise out there. I'm sure Hastings in the Midwest and Southwest has done it. I'm sure that Ultimate Video, when it was out, Hollywood Video, all those store chains have done it. So I'm not saying that they haven't, they wouldn't do it. Now, I'm not saying it's nothing new, because it's not. The truth is, Blockbuster is trying to give everybody an equal opportunity to watch these movies and games that you rent from the store. I mean, how would you feel if you're a video game employee and a customer comes up to you and they ask, when is this game going to come in? Or they go to the stand where the game is and they see the cover of the game and they think, ooh, it's in. And they walk all the way up to the store or up to the counter like this. Like, okay, I'm ready to check this out. And then you get this word. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not in. It's been checked out. And then you ask, well, when's it going to be in? And do you want to hear this? We don't know. They've had it out for a very long time. You get what I'm saying? And especially if you take a look at Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. When you take a look at that game, if Blockbuster hadn't changed its policy the way it did, that game wouldn't even be in stock right now in this Blockbuster here in town. Instead, there'd be a lot of people having that game at home and keeping it as long as they want. The same thing with Halo 3 ODST. The same thing I'm pretty sure would be for Halo Legends when it comes out. Or Halo Eclipse when it comes out. Those games are basically all those Call of Duty and Halo games that people talk about and like. Let's say Assassin's Creed, for example, Assassin's Creed 2. If the policy of this hadn't been changed, people would be renting that game out like it's nothing. You get what I'm saying? Now I know, again, as I mentioned, some of you may say that's unfair and it shouldn't have happened, but you know what? It's as fair as it's going to get. And who knows? Maybe someday, down the line, Blockbuster would change its policy back to that very lenient policy that it used to have. But that day will come when people stop taking advantage. That's why these policies changed. Do you think Blockbuster's the only one? Excuse me for a second. Okay, I still got about a few more minutes. I got that 10 to 11 minute limit. But anyway, do you think Blockbuster's the only store franchise out there? No. I'm pretty sure there's supermarkets and retail stores that do the same thing. So, that's all really I have to say about this. And again, all you have to do is hope and pray that Blockbuster changes its policy maybe someday back to that leniency. But until then, you just got to deal with it, my friend. And that's all I have to say. And I thank you for watching Topics on My Mind number 10. Again, I know some of them weren't so popular, but again, I thank you for that. And more will be on the way. And I apologize if I was looking around, if you will, because there have been times I've been interrupted. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've had people making fun of me when I've made my videos. People make noises in the background. So, again, I thank you for watching, and you got any comments, just leave them right here on the message board. Okay? And description will be here on the side. If I put a description, I probably will. And I thank you all for watching, and God bless. Take care.